Hello, current and future homeowners. This is Rene Ruiz. I'm with Nationwide Purchase Loans, and today I'm going to dive into Prop 19 and how it has affected several other propositions that previously allowed for exclusions from reassessment when transferring title or when moving into a new home. Let me give you more details. So this is relevant because Prop 19 passed in 2020 and it went into effect in 2021, and now in 2023, 2 years later, I've actually seen a couple examples of what can go wrong or how Prop 19 has actually affected some people. And I figured I would take that knowledge and share it with all of you so that hopefully you can avoid some of these situations yourselves. Now, I'm going to go over Props 58 and 193, then I'm going to go over Prop 60, 90, and 110, and then afterwards, after I go through each of those, we'll talk about how Prop 19 has changed things. First, Prop 58 and 193. Prop 58 came around and allowed people to transfer title to their kids, parent to child, without reassessment in it. Didn't have any restrictions on the property type, whether it was a primary or a vacation home or a rental property. Then Prop 193 came around and it expanded it so that grandparents could do the same thing. They could transfer property to their grandkids without any reassessment. Under Prop 19, things are very different. Parents and grandparents have to be living in the home. It has to be their primary residence, and the kids or grandkids that are going to be taking title need to be living, or they need to move into the home right away in order for that exclusion to apply. Otherwise, the home gets reassessed, and the assumption is that the property taxes go up. With Props 60, 90, and 110, well, Prop 60 started in LA County, and the idea was that if you were buying a home that was less or equal to what you sold a home for, then you would be able to transfer your tax basis. And let's say you bought a house in 1980, and now it's worth $800,000, and you paid $100,000 for it back then. And your tax basis is really low. You're paying $1,500 a year in property taxes. And you go and you buy a $600,000 condo. Well, based on a 1.25 tax rate, you're going to be paying around $7,000 a year in property taxes for that $600,000 property, unless you transfer your tax base using Prop 60. And then you can keep paying the $1,500. The condition was you had to buy something of equal or lesser value. Well, Prop 90 came around and expanded it. You can go in between counties. Several counties were participating at that point. And then Prop 110 came around and expanded it to people that are severely and permanently disabled. What did Prop 19 do? It actually, in my opinion, had a positive effect. There is no longer a limitation requiring that the property be of equal or lesser value. You can actually buy up now and still transfer that tax basis. The way they do it is they look at what you sold for and then what you bought for. And if the home that you bought is worth more, they're going to take the amount that you sold for and subtract it from that price, and then you only really pay new taxes based on whatever the difference is. So let's say you sold a $600,000 house and you bought $1 million property, you would end up paying a 1.25 tax rate roughly on the $400,000. The first $600,000 would be the exact same amount that you were paying before in your previous home. A couple things to remember: you must fill out the right paperwork. There's specific forms that you have to fill out whenever you submit your deeds and want to be considered for that exclusion or those exclusions. If you are doing a transfer from parent or grandparent to child or grandchild, there's a PCOR, stands for Preliminary Change of Ownership Report. It's a questionnaire. You basically answer questions yes or no, and you have to make sure you fill everything out. I know it's not the only form you'll have to submit, so please ask your local county assessor what else needs to be submitted for whatever exclusion you're applying for so that it doesn't go sideways. And make sure you fill out the forms completely. I have a real world example, clients that I'm working with, who unfortunately, when they filled out the PCOR, they said yes to the question that I asked whether or not it was a transfer between parent and child, but they didn't answer the follow-up question right below that asked if it was a primary residence. And now they're dealing with an appeal with the county. If you are looking to buy down or buy up and you want to transfer your tax base, the right form is a BOE-60-OH, but please call your local county assessor and get instructions for them so that things don't go sideways, because I'm not your attorney. And last, we recommend that you hire a professional. If you're going to be transferring your title, there's services out there. You can go to attorneys by all means. We don't recommend that you do it yourselves. You could get in a lot of trouble. And if you lose your tax basis, it could cost you a lot of money, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars per year. Thank you for watching. This is Rene with Nationwide Purchase Loans, and I hope you have a wonderful day.